All right, so I'm working up here in North River, New York, and I don't know, about a quarter of a mile or so, 3/8 of a mile from where I'm working, there's a trailhead to 13th Lake, and probably some people that are watching this video, you know where this is. I figured I'd use my lunch break, swing over here, make a beeline, Hail Mary up into the woods, straight line, looking for anything, hopefully cross the track. We had heavy rain came through over the last 24 hours, so the ground's soft again. Makes it more conducive for finding track. If I do find a track, then I'll be covering it up, marking it off, and then I'll come back and cast it on my own time. Well, of course, I run the business, so it's all my own time, but I've got guys over there working. I'll be back there at 12:45, and we'll be hitting the sheetrock. So just to let you know, I am in the parking lot, and I also have my Garmin Mini 2 dash cam that's plugged into a battery pack, so it's not married to the truck and shut off when the power shuts off. So right now that's recording, and it's aimed up into the woods as well. Like I said, this is all a Hail Mary. I don't expect nothing, but if you're not out in the woods, you're not going to see wildlife. So let's go. I do have my stuff in the truck. So I got my mucks, which are my waterproof boots, and my essentials equipment. I do have the fingerprint kit. I do have my DNA kit. I didn't bring my thermal. Like I said, this is just a Hail Mary. Shot up into the woods around a parking area where there are primitive campsites down there. If there was people camping there this past weekend, you know, and there was a Sasquatch in the area, well, he might have come down and took interest in peeking at the campers or scrounging up some food that may have been left behind, or sneak in at night and get something that's real easy to grab. Love to run the ridges, love to follow the water. So I'm holding the camera out in front of me, just running continuously, and my eyes are more fixed on the ground right now. Looking for track. I like these little ravines. See, there's like a little cut right here. I like that because if I wanted to sneak up on people down there, and see what was going on, then I definitely would walk up on top of that, and I wouldn't be in plain view. I would try to stay in the low area to get as close as I possibly can until I felt I was at a safe distance to observe. So let's check this gully. This gully is obviously formed from some mountain runoff. It runs right down in through there. But it's always worth a look. I mean, you never know when an animal's going to get hung up on some brush and a tusk of hair comes out. When it comes to their hair, you know, I'm thinking for winter, they either have some sort of anatomical feature where they can survive the bitter cold, or they do in fact produce what I know as a prime coat, which is the very down, very thick, short hair, tight to the skin. Your dogs shed it in the spring, and then they shed their summer hair, and then they put on the winter coat. When you get down in near their skin, it's very thick, like down feathers almost, right? And you know, it seems as if that it is hair, but I'm not comfortable with ruling out that they develop a prime coat to weather the winter weather. So we got water here, which is a mountain runoff. This will do. Boy, a lot of that beach bark disease really put a hurting on these beaches, huh? Look at all that. And so a friend of mine online in the subject goes by the call sign Eyes in the Woods. Eyes, he asked me a question in the chat back a month ago or so. He asked me why there was so many gray trees on Prospect Mountain going up the Adirondack Northway. I didn't really know how to answer that, although I had a pretty good idea what it was going to be. But I went, you know, obviously I'm up and down that road all the time. So I went and looked. And so up on Prospect Mountain, Eyes, when I was studying that and witnessing that up in Research Area 2, the reading that I did said that a good healthy oak tree can take defoliation 1 year. A good healthy oak tree can take defoliation 2 years, but maybe starting to have some troubles after that. If it gets defoliaged a third year, it dies. Now, if the tree, that same tree, was not a strong, healthy tree, and it was already had battling bacteria, fungus, or any type of tree disease, it may have died the first year of defoliation, and most certainly the second year of defoliation. The oak trees on Prospect Mountain experienced 2 full years of defoliation. It was bad. And so those trees died. But that's your answer, eyes. You're staring at the effect of the caterpillar outbreak, defoliation of hardwoods that weren't healthy enough to make it after that 2 years. And I'm telling you, man, when I was up in the woods, when that was up in research area 2, when that was at its height, I remember going up there and I was standing in the woods and it wasn't even raining. I mean, it was just partly cloudy or something, and it sounded like it was raining in the woods. I'm like, what the hell? And I get looking around. I'm like, this shouldn't be raining. And come to find out what it was is, well, this is interesting. Hold on. It was caterpillar shit. So the caterpillars were eating at such a rate and shitting, and there were so many of them that it just simply sounded like it was raining. And it was raining caterpillar shit. So I can tell that something came through here, and more than likely a bear. There's an impression right here, there. Yeah, and that's probably a bear, because that's not shoved right down there like a hooved whitetail. I'm not gonna go up any higher. Check it out. That's 13th Lake right down there, loaded right full of brook trout.
Up next, the following discovery is most likely caused by a black bear, but what piqued my interest was the size of the area that appears to have been compressed, with deeper compressions possibly caused by heavy body parts bedded down on wet ground for an extended time. The large pile of scat aside the bedding area is indicative of a black bear. I chose to investigate to be more certain and to sharpen my skills.
Alright, so I was just sitting up there taking a picture over the lake, and instead of going down the way that I came, I decided to go in a little bit further and then cut down just to cover some more ground. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but if you look right here in front of me, and what's interesting, there's a housefly flying around right there too, meaning stink, possibly meaning stink. And we have this. I'm gonna put a tape measure on that. It looks to be crushed up acorn, which is par for the course. The color, there's a ton of acorn up here on the ground. I had seen bear tracks down low, and I think that is what we might be dealing with right here. I also see other sign of it moving around. There's a stick that's drawn up. There is, it looks like it may have gone down through that way at some time, or had come up this way at some time. But my guess is that they laid down right here, bedded down. There is some impression in that as well. So let me try to set up this camera in a manner where I can use my tape measure. We'll do the scat first. Now, word to the wise, everyone. Now, you see how that leaf just fell on that? That's how fast leaves are falling.
What I meant by word to the wise was, do not touch, handle, or make contact with scat. Scat may contain dangerous parasites and bacterial diseases that can be harmful to your health.
Down up here, meaning if you look at this area, I don't have fresh leaves like I have loosely on the ground here. This is all matted down from right up in there, all the way along that area there, into here, all the way over into there. first estimate I'm looking at, this is probably about 6 foot by 5 foot of an area that's all matted down. That doesn't mean one figure laid there. That could be a bear coming back, laying down, coming back, laying down. Could have a cub, a couple cubs. But all right, this one segment is about 1.5 inch nugget. Let me get directly over the top of it. It's about 1.5 inches. Let me just use a 2-inch mark there by about 1 inch. And this, wow, that stinks. That stinks bad. I'm gonna have to set this alongside of it somehow. Jesus, fall in that nasty stuff. Second, let's see if I can move the ground in there. Get that to stay there. Come on, don't roll over, please. Move that leaf. Leave that leaf that's there directly over the top. Take a picture. Another picture. Come up a little higher. Take another picture. Now let me set the ruler on that area. Interesting. Okay, and I also had noticed, now I've tried to stay, I came right down through, I didn't run right into it. I were like right down in through there. As soon as I saw it, I walked right down here, and I've only been right in here, stayed low to it, and just went up to the scat. I hung a ribbon in the tree right there so I can find this spot when I come back. But over here, just by sight, I noticed that there's a branch right there that's been like chewed on. A little bit of chewing on the root right there, messed up. There's a little disturbance over there on that log. So kind of wallering around up here, browsing for acorns. And you know, there's also a disturbance right there on that log. You can also see where something had gone right up and through here. Now I don't know if they came up through here, or when they were here, or I say they, when they, or whatever it was, may have been up here. That's just a big area. So I want to measure that area. I have my work phone, so I don't have Scaniverse, unfortunately. And a lot of this is going to get covered up with leaves today. So, you know, but I would like to come up here and try to draw hair out of there and maybe take a sample of that scat. The flies are in on it. This is rather fresh. It stinks. That's a heck of a pile right there. Did we measure the width? Directly over top. No, 6 inches. So we're probably really looking at 6 by 9 and about 2.5 inches deep. Pretty sure that's bear. All right, let's measure the trying to find a spot I can set this phone, film myself doing this. Go back over this way. Yeah, when I see little sticks chewed up and stuff, that's usually indicative of a cub. They're playing, they just wrestle around and chewing on sticks and doing what they do. I just don't know where I can set this thing. Maybe up here. Let's see what that looks like. Oops. This thing's right. Yeah, that's good enough.
.4 foot. .4 foot. .6 foot. .8 foot.
Picture of the area. I'm pretty damn sure this is bear, but let's see what we can pull from it. I'll have to come back up here tomorrow. If I saw a Sasquatch track here, well, then I'd take the rest of the day off. Seems as if the figure had at one time or another made a way down through that way, which makes sense because I was seeing the bear tracks down there coming up the mountain.
Very, very steep right here. Very, very steep. You can see that tree over there in the background. It just drops right off. And that's 13th Lake.
Cool. Always cool to come across something interesting.